All right, welcome to GFX. So I made a poll. Sorry, I made a poll in the channel, and I was asking if which one do they prefer? Do they prefer me to give setups or to give instant signals? So it turned out that everybody, majority, chose the setups that teach them how to trade setups. So let me just go to a good setup on this is your GBP. This is a good setup, very nice setup. So let me just then in the morning or like very early before the day fully begins, let's say by 5, from 4 to like 6 o'clock, or even before that, I've given the coordinates. Now I can come in the morning and say, okay, the coordinate for Euro GBP is, let me just do something like the coordinate for Euro GBP is for the demand zone, the coordinate on Euro GBP for the demand for the supply zone, sorry, which is this red, come at the beginning of a day. Listen very carefully and say the supply zone, the coordinates for the supply zones on Euro GBP is number 1. The first line is 0 point, which is this one, 0.85684, and I say the second line is 0.85583. You understand? So you go to your trading. If you don't have trading, sign up on TradingView, create an account. You draw these two lines on your TradingView. You saw how I draw. You just choose this go down, choose this horizontal line, and then draw it. Just put it at exactly the numbers I call. So once you put these two lines, it should look like something like, let me remove this previous one. It should look like something like this, right? So you put your two lines. This is how it's looking. You won't see all this is early in the morning. The market is still waking up. So let's say, for example, I gave this trade. I gave the lines by 5 o'clock. When it was 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is somewhere here. Look at this place. You see, 5 o'clock is somewhere here. So from the time I gave it, you will start from there. 5 o'clock. Boom. Click on. After choosing this stuff, so you click on that place from 5 o'clock. You draw it to 12 o'clock. Make sure the box stops at 12 o'clock, or you can just make it maybe 13 o'clock, which is 1 o'clock, or 13:30, 1:30, but 12 o'clock is recommended. So now you have drawn the supply zone. That's what you just did. Hopefully you guys understand. I will give the lines on these two lines on the supply zone on a particular pair, Euro GBP, and then I say these lines are 0.85684 for the first line, the second line 0.85583. Then from the time I gave it, which should be have been 5 o'clock or later or earlier, if I gave by 6 o'clock, you start from 6 o'clock and draw the box. You go here, you choose your rectangle. That's what you're looking for. You put it from 6 o'clock, or whenever I gave you, draw it to 12 o'clock, which is recommended. Then you color it, so you know which one is demand and supply. You color it red, they fail, put it red. So you have successfully drawn the supply zone. Then same thing for the demand zone. I'm going to come in the morning and say, okay, and for the demand zone on Euro GBP, the first line is, sorry, you start from the below. So the first line is 1. The first line is always, if it's a demand zone, is this one below. This is the first line. This line 1. Let me annotate. When I say the first line, sorry, first, all right, that's the first line. Second line. For the demand zone, the first line is this. take note, write this stuff down if you are going to be confused. Rewatch this video over and over and again if you are confused. If you are confused, watch this video over and over again, you will get it. So first line for demand zone is this line here. You put this one, then I'll come in the morning and say first line for the demand zone on Euro GBP is this 0.85055. You put your first line here on 0.805 or blah 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 whatever. Then I'll say the second line for the demand zone on Euro GBP is this. So you put your second line here, which is 0.85161 here. So now you have put your two lines. Then the next thing obviously is this rectangle. You start from the time I gave it, let's say it's 5 o'clock I gave it, and you drag it to, let it, make sure it matches this guy here. So you drag it and boom to the lines. You change the color so you know what you're looking at. I choose blue, which is signifying a demand zone. So that's it. This is the first line. This line here is the first line. This line here is the second line for the demand zone. Now this is the first line for the supply zone. Write this down if you are going to, if it's going to confuse you. This is the second line for the supply zone. So when I come in the morning and say first line for the supply zone is 0.85684, this is where you're putting that first line. Supply zone, which is this red one, you're putting it on top here, 0.85685. second line, that's this one that is down now, that's the second line. So I'll call the line 0.85583. You put your line 1, line 2, and draw the box from there. Then when I say for the demand zone, first line, you start from, that's the one that is under. The first line on the demand zone is the one under. The first line on the supply zone is the one on top. The first line on the demand zone is the one under. Second line is on top. I'll call the first line on demand zone is 0.85055. Second line is 0.85161. You put your first line, put your second line, and draw the box inside the line. Color it blue, color this guy red. Boom. As easy as that. You are done. So all you have to do is to wait for price to come and either hit here or hit here. If it hits here, you are buying. You just monitor these trades. You understand? Monitor the trade, check, put your alerts or whatever. From time to time you come back, monitor it, check if there's a major news that will drop, you monitor it. Now price comes here, even if it tips, even if it's a tip, even if it's just a tip, even if it doesn't have to fully enter here, even if it just tips, put a sell. Unless I say don't put, or unless I say it's risky. If it's risky, you enter with low lots. If a trade is risky and you still want to take it, don't risk much, enter with low lots. So for this kind of trade now, let's say it started from here and you have drawn your zones already, and market price starts coming and tips and enters a little bit, look entered a little bit, but it just tipped. So from the tip, if the trade is not risky, I'm going to indicate all this stuff. I will say nature of trade. If it's risky, I'll say risky. If it's not risky, I'll say normal. So if the trade is normal, once it tip, put your risk, put your lot size. You understand? If it goes higher, stack more trades. You understand? If it goes higher, stack more trades. And then when you have maxed out, or when you feel it's enough, or when you're feeling uncomfortable with your stacking, don't stack more. It's an indication that you should stop. So you wait for the trade, you wait for the market, it will sell and hit the first TP. And I'm going to indicate the TP one for buyers and sellers. That one should be very easy to put. You just put the line, put the line, put the line. It will be very easy. The only place you need to master is this first line, so second line, first line, second, so it won't confuse you. So watch the video again and again so you grab it. I will give the coordinates for this first, second, first, second. You draw the lines, draw the boxes inside the lines, and wait for price. That's it. As simple as that. So stop loss will be like, now this is the box, outside the box. Stop loss obviously will be outside the box. Let's say like 10 to 15 pips outside the box, it's hardly, my trade hardly hits stop loss. If I see a trade is not going to move according, I will call to close at entry or in profit, or at like 1 pip minus 1 pip loss, or 5 pips loss, which is insignificant, but it hardly happens. So don't be afraid of the stop loss. It will never even pass this red zone. So, but just set your stop loss. Me, I don't believe in stop loss. If you check my charts, you will never see any stop loss on my chart. I have not put stop loss on my chart for a long time. I may have a reason to put, but it will not be in this kind of scalping. So you can put your stop loss 10 to 15 pips, or just 10 pips if you want to be safe. 15 pips from outside this box. Same thing for here, from outside this box. You calculate it, use the ruler, calculate it. 8 pips, 10 pips, you put it here, somewhere here. So that's just it. I'm going to indicate where the take profits will be. So you just put your TPs in your trade. That's all. As simple as that. So like and subscribe.